Coming to you from an undisclosed location somewhere deep in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains, I'm your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli, and this is On the Trail of the Nephilim. Hey folks, you have reached On the Trail of the Nephilim, and thanks so much for watching yet another episode. We are talking about giants in America this week. This is a great book, by the way, and it's a fascinating read. I would love to go to Syria, giant cities of Bashan, and there are still vestiges of these ancient megalithic cities, which the doorways are like 12, 14 feet in the air, huge megalithic stones. Some of them still do exist. And if it wasn't such a war-torn, crazy area, I would make a beeline there and film there. But unfortunately, not going to do it. What you're looking at here in this picture is Ralph Glidden on the island of Catalina. In front of him is a 9-foot skeleton. And before I get into that, we'll have a word from our sponsor, healthwithla.com. Collagen sales have been surging for the past 2 years. This isn't for no reason. Collagen is becoming well known for its anti-aging abilities. You only have to do one thing to look younger. That's to take collagen. But there's a problem. Most collagen supplements out there don't work. The secret is ageless multi-collagen. Health with LA is the most effective collagen for anti-aging out there, in my opinion. Thousands of users agree they notice their skin looking and feeling younger after routinely taking it. Men also report increased muscle mass. It's the best anti-aging supplement out there. The reason Health with LA works is because it uses 5 types of high-quality collagen instead of 1. If you want to improve your skin, hair, or nail health, you need this. If you've been looking for a way to reduce the appearance of wrinkles, you'll love Health with LA. Get 51% off Health with LA for the next 24 hours by going to this custom website, www.healthwithla.com. That's www.healthwithla.com, or by clicking the link below. If you come here on YouTube and you don't find what you're looking for, politics, prophecy, and the supernatural report, remember, we are now on Rumble, Bitchute, and Roku. You can check that out, and I would admonish you to go over there, because the full Monty is politics, prophecy, and the supernatural report, and then we basically tag On the Trail of the Nephilim and the UFO report right on with it. But this is a new show here, and I think you'll find it interesting. Let's move right along. This is one of the few pictures of an actual 9-footer that I discovered in the Catalina Island archives. I never was supposed to see that photograph. In fact, when one of our researchers took the skeleton that you see here and digitized everything and stood it up, you basically have a 9-footer. So that's Ralph Glidden at 5'8", and we made it in the book 8'6", but essentially it's around 9 foot. The other 2 guys put it over 9 foot. But I didn't want to be too sensationalistic, because all this is sensationalistic anyway. But when we went back to the museum, Richard Shaw and I, this is the original photograph. Check it out. That's what the museum did. What's missing in this picture? There's the original photo, and that's what the museum posted. Once again, original photo, what the museum posted. So that's called deliberate obfuscation, which leads me to this. There is a hidden history. There is a hidden history that has been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world. Oh, LA, I think you're just making this up. Get this. Get this. This is documented. This is from Ross Hamilton's book, which is a must-read, Holocaust of Giants. In fact, we're going to carry this book in the store. I'm going to try to reach out to Ross, and see if I can get 100 copies, because it's a fascinating book, and he's done his homework. Immediately behind or west of the altar were found 3 skeletons deeply charred and covered with ashes, lying face upwards, their heads toward the south, measuring respectively 8 feet 10 inches, 9 feet 2, and 9 feet 4 inches in length. In another grave, a female skeleton 8 feet long and a male skeleton 9 feet 4 inches long. The female lowermost and the face downward, and the male on top face upward behind the site of the altar. After proceeding about 4 feet, we found within 3 feet of the top of the mound and 5 feet above the natural surface a coffin or burial case made of a peculiar kind of yellow clay. Stop right there. Native Americans did not deal in funerary objects like this, and funerals like this. Most of the time they just cremated the dead. That's what they did. Okay? So we're looking at something, and I've seen this yellow clay, a peculiar kind of yellow clay. Where did I see this? America's Stonehenge. All right? There is in fact, I should call Dennis today, and we should do, I'm going to do this, seriously. I'm going to pay for the whole thing because we've got a war chest in our specifically for On the Trail of a Nephilim, just for this type of research. There is a chamber, a hidden chamber that wasn't really discovered until Dennis Stone's family began excavations there. And that's where they discovered the very large artificial, or the table, the sacrificial table, I should say, not artificial, forgive me, sacrificial table, which we've covered in episodes 4 and 5, America Stonehenge, The Axis Monday. It'll blow your mind if you watch those. Streaming.lamarzulli.net, shameless plug, streaming.lamarzulli.net. But here, listen. So this chamber, above it, there's this, it's totally waterproof, watertight. And yet, lots of rain, lots of snow, been that way for thousands of years. There's this yellow clay. There's this weird clay which covers the entire roof of the chamber. So it's watertight. I will call Dennis Stone as soon as the show is done, and I'm going to say, Dennis, let's get a sample of the clay. Let's find out what's in this. Let's do it. And I'll see what he does. Okay, so moving right along. This burial case made of a peculiar kind of yellow clay, the like of which we have not found in the township. So where did it come from? If this clay didn't originate there, where did it come from? Consequently, we believe it was brought from a distance. Within the casket were confined the remains of a female 8 feet in length, an infant 3.5 feet in length, the skull of which was scarcely thicker than the blade of an ordinary case knife. The skull of the female would average in thickness about 1/8 of an inch, measured 18 3/4 inches from the supraorbital ridge to the external occipital protuberances, and was remarkably smooth, perfectly formed. Folks, there is a hidden history. There is a hidden history which has been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world. There were giants here in America. This quote, okay, and I'll look up I'll tell you exactly where it came from. But when they went into the mounds, this is what they discovered. And yet all this was swept under the rug. And that's why we're on the trail. If you have a mound on your property and you live in Ohio, we can dig there legally. We have archaeologists, anthropologists. We have Chief Joseph Riverwind, who represents the Native Americans. So when we come upon burial sites like this, the chief goes in first, prays over the sites, and will basically tell us, well, that's a secondary interment. Native Americans use the mound, but let's dig deeper and see what we find. We've got a team of people. We're ready to come. We're ready to do it. So check it out. I'll be talking about this tomorrow, and I think you'll find that interesting. But there is and has been a Holocaust of giants in this country. And of course, eventually this week we'll talk about the Kandahar giant in our Watchers series. That was mind-boggling, mind-blowing. 15 foot, 12 to 15 feet, huge, in the Kandahar province of Afghanistan around 2001. If you're interested, remember I talked about the Axis Mundi, the America Stonehenge, the connection with the Bow Stone. Folks, it's all real. And that's why we are on the trail and proud to be on the trail. If you've got a mount on your property, shoot me an email, la@lamarzulli.net, la@lamarzulli.net. First step, we need pictures. Second step, we need to find if it's in the registry. Third step, if it has not been excavated, will come. Anyway, folks, let's talk about UFOs today. We are talking about, of course, I have to say this because I do it every day, Pentagon UFO unit in the spotlight. Report mentions off-world vehicles not made on this earth. Cat's out of the bag. Time to deal with it. If you have not seen our free film, UFO Disclosure of a Coming Great Deception of a Luciferian Endgame, check it out. By the way, over the weekend, they'll start with Skywatch's virtual conference. Gave them my UFOs talk. That'll be filmed. Of course, Josh Peck has a new UFO film. I can't wait to see that. I know Chuck Missler is featured in it, Gary Stearman, yours truly, Tom Horn, others. And we'll check that out and see what that's like. But let's get into this. FBI joins investigation of animal mutilations linked to UFOs. This has been going on, folks, for decades. Absolutely for decades. They've never brought anyone to justice. They talk about satanic cults and, pranksters and predators. No. Farmers know exactly what's going on. They see lights in the sky. They see craft. They know. And here's the deal. I showed this yesterday. Check it out. Look at the jaw. The flesh has been excised with laser-like precision. The eye has been cored out. Not in all cases, but in some. The udders appear to have been removed with precision, straight, even cuts, as if made by a sharp object. This is a report of a cattle mutilation. The reproductive system had been cut out cleanly as well and without disturbing other organs. Let me just stop right there. How do you do that? How do you do that in the field? The carcass is laying in the field. All right? We're not in a veterinarian's office. How is this going on? That's why the cattle are beamed aboard the ship and the grisly work takes place there. And then they drop the animal back in the field. There was no indication of predator activity, and perhaps strangest of all, scavenging animals appear to have hardly touched these 6 cow carcasses found in a 7-day span this year on ranchland in rural Crook County. Folks, cattle mutilations and the reason why I'm bringing this up, because, this whole idea of friendly ET, Demi Lovato came out, I had this encounter with these beings and it was amazing. Yeah, I get that. They can manipulate your emotions. Oh, yes, they can. Satan himself can appear as an angel of light. So with all due respect to Lovato and others who believe that these are friendly aliens, notice they never talk about the cattle mutilations, which is why I'm bringing it up. Something has been going on literally for decades. Why the cow? Why the cow? I'll talk about that more tomorrow, because bovine blood and human blood are interchangeable. Bet you didn't know that. Anyway, folks, check it out. I'll get into that more tomorrow. You can see that I skipped over some slides there. Even the elect would be deceived if that were possible. Something is here. Something is here. Off-world vehicles not made on this earth. It's time for you to understand what is going on, which is why we made this free film. It's free. Go to streaming.lamarzulli.net, streaming.lamarzulli.net, or watch it right here. Actually, on YouTube. You can check it out on YouTube. It's on my channel, The Coming Great Deception and the Luciferian Endgame. Or if you want the hard copy of the book and DVD, there's a sale going on. Check it out. Folks, you need this information. Trust me, you need this information. I've been researching this for decades. What is already here, what is being revealed, and remember, it's pulled back a little bit. It's pulled back. Watch when it rears its head again, because it will. Trust me. Anyway, folks, thanks so much for watching On the Trail of the Nephilim right here on YouTube, and also on Politics, Prophecy, and the Supernatural Report. Remember, we'll see you in the air or on the air. Thanks so much for watching. There is an ancient site in New Hampshire that may date back 4,000 years. It is called America's Stonehenge. There are precise alignments of standing stones, which reflect the solstices and equinoxes. There is also a controversial stone table, which may have been used as an altar for human sacrifice. The site is built on an 18-and-a-half-year lunar cycle, like that of Stonehenge, England, and also the Great Circle Mound and the Octagon Mound complex in Ohio. At America's Stonehenge, massive stones were fitted together to create this mysterious site, but whoever built it seemingly abandoned it. You will see just how incredible this site is as we reveal what appears to be a deliberate and orchestrated relationship to Stonehenge, England, as well as other megalithic sites around the globe. Journey with us as we explore America's Stonehenge.